Old movies are weird, and I have to talk about 1947's the beginning or the end. Hollywood's then cool attempt to tell the story of the Manhattan Project. First off, this movie started with a news blast that was showing a time capsule being placed in the Redwood Forest with the actors who were playing the various characters, but the narration is telling us that they are those characters and saying that in the time capsule is this movie that you are about to watch. We get another weird intro, which is Hume Cronyn playing J. Robert Oppenheimer, who is telling us the story in narration, but he's sitting behind a news desk 2 hours, and it feels like there's about 10 minutes of story here. The only character given any type of weight or story is Tom Drake playing scientist. I'm not really clear what his position is in the movie. Matt Cochran. Matt Cochran is the all-American guy who has a wife. You will need to remember that. That's the only bit of his personality. He's a wife guy. This is a guy who gets exposed to radiation at one point, and he's warned, you better not get exposed to radiation again, or something bad can happen. Wonder where the third act's going. I think they're talking about like the Tennessee Valley Authority at one point, and they're like, there's 18,000 people on this land. You need to move them. Make sure they're all placed in really nice homes. When they're doing the initial testing of the bomb in New Mexico, they're talking about, oh, there's people that could live close. Brian Don Levy's character, who's like the major, is like, we'll pick them up in a truck. There's a point where they're prepping to drop the bombs on Hiroshima, and they're talking about wanting to limit casualties as best as they can. And Brian Don Levy's character says, we're going to scatter leaflets along the city and warn people. And I had to Google if that was true. And actually, the answer is they kind of did something like that. They're going to finally drop this bomb. Of course, poor Matt gets exposed to radiation. Cut to the next scene. He's dead. Now we're dropping the bomb on Hiroshima for Matt. The movie culminates with this big patriotic finale in front of the Lincoln Memorial. One of the guys gives Matt's wife, a letter that he's written before he left. She's reading the letter while Matt is narrating, so you're hearing him. And she's supposed to be reading this letter, and she's looking down, and she'll continually look up, like she's listening to something. I don't know if it's Matt or God or the screams of the Japanese. The beginning or the end is exactly what you would expect it to be. It's also just really dull. I didn't love Oppenheimer, but I would watch that again over this. Just drop in the comments what you think about this movie. And also, if you want me to do more old Hollywood content,